inspired. There's so much greatness that have walked through these halls, and when I was here, we always competed with volleyball and women's basketball, intramurals of some sort, just to get on the floor. And now you have this facility committed to improving your game, shooting free throws. One of the best feelings in the world is to hear basketball bouncing. When you're walking through a building like this, obviously I don't hear any bouncing right now. That's something that I will probably address in the next day or so, but it's a special place, and it's the reason that I continue to always come back, because I want these young kids to understand it's a privilege. Sometimes we forget the special nature at which we have the opportunity to come to a school like this and play at this level, and have people that have so much passion for this game and want to do anything that they can to help them succeed. And we've all had the privilege of being here, and you guys have had the privilege of covering a lot of us over the years. So you guys have seen a lot of basketball, and we'll continue to see a lot. So, for me, it's I come from nowhere, and I come from nothing, and to be able to now look at this and say, it's part of a tradition, it's, truly an honor for me.
What does this weekend mean to you?
Well, it sums up not just what I've done in my career. It allows me to think about, first, Coach got home and him giving me this opportunity. Coach Dickerman being so forthright and recruiting me and giving me this opportunity, and then just getting here, being on campus, just what it took, because it wasn't easy. It seems simple to be consistent, but it's not easy because there's so many distractions. So it's just a credit for me to all the people in my life. As much as I had to pick up each foot every single day and have the desire to come in here and shoot, there were people around me that carried me. And that's, all the guys that I played with, the good and the bad examples. There's so much to learn. But regardless of what happened, we just continue to move forward.
To have your uniform retired with a contemporary like Rebecca, how much more special does that make that?
Well, very special, because Rebecca and I were both in school together, and I marveled at their greatness at the time. To go 35-0. I remember when they won the national championship, I don't know whether I was getting treatment or if I was in study hall, but they were coming back because they won the championship, and they were coming back, and I made sure that I had to see it, because it's one of those things you want to be a part of. And even to this day, I always make sure that people know that Gino Auriemma is probably the greatest coach in the history of basketball. And that's not with a label. It's just the greatest coach. To get those young girls to do what they do every single game, regardless of who they play, we discuss this all the time. The great teams, there's a lot of great teams in the NBA, but do they bring it every single night? That's difficult. So Gino has a huge task in front of him every single night. So, for Rebecca to be able to she's at the forefront of the greatness that started here. And, it's truly an honor to be doing this with her.
Ray, when did you start wearing that number that's going to be retired? How old were you?
I was 15. And I was coming out of middle school when I was wearing 20, and the high school coach, she said that 20 was too soft. He's like, yeah, you need a more aggressive number. And at the time as a kid, I don't know anything about numbers. I don't have an affinity towards any one individual. And Charles Barkley was the guy that was kind of running roughshod over the NBA and was the round mound rebound, and he was like, I'm gonna give you 34, and it was because of Charles Barkley. And I never told him that, but it is one of the reason that I wear 34.
Did 20 get a little tougher when you went to Boston?
Well, 20 was a no-brainer once I got to Boston. But I'll tell you, when you go to Boston, when you start looking at the numbers that you can't wear. That was like, I don't know how they do it. They continue to bring players there, and there's so many jerseys that you can't wear. But that is a testimony to what's come through that franchise. So, but luckily 20 was still on the table.
Where's your UConn experience fit in with your overall growth as a player and as a person?
I don't compare this experience to anything that I have gone through afterwards, because this is everything. This is kind of, if this doesn't happen, then everything afterwards doesn't happen. Just sitting here and understanding how to be a professional college student, how to be, eat breakfast. I eat breakfast every morning because I had to be at McMahon at between 7 and 8 every morning. And if you didn't do that, we were running Cemetery Hill and coach the doghouse. So I know he's not gonna wake me up in the bedroom right now at 7 in the morning, but that still lives inside of me. I've played against alongside a lot of players in the NBA that don't have those fundamentals instilled in them. And that's kind of what you want to see in a program when you have young players that come and the coaches are putting these valuable fundamentals inside them. So as you move on, you still have these thoughts and you're built in with these disciplines.
Ray, when you look at the program now and how much you've watched this year, what's your take on where the program is now and the direction that it's going and needs to go?
Well, I mean, I can't remember who we were playing the other night, but Cincinnati. I watched the Cincinnati game. And we just had a flat start coming out of the half. But we competed, coming toward the end of the game. And, I was texting with Coach a little bit, and I said, we just have to get them to understand what 40 minutes hard is. And that was the one thing that we marveled at, because that was Arkansas's motto when we were in college with Nolan Richardson. And we had a shirt that said, 40 minutes. And Coach Calhoun, in his way and in his language, he just say 40 high. And we used to always, that's kind of what we believe in, like, don't take a break, don't take our foot off somebody else's throat. And so, with Coach Hurley's enthusiasm and his energy, like, I feel encouraged when I'm watching him with these guys, because I know they're don't give up. No matter if you're down 10, I've been down 28 in the game before and still won. And just teaching these kids, the fundamentals, right now, we talk about wins and losses, and that's ultimately what we judge coaches by and players, but in the position we're in right now, we have to start rebuilding what we're doing, and it requires building our young people back to what we know we're capable of doing here at this university.
That was Coach Hurley you were texting with?
Yeah.
Does he still blame you for ending his college career?
We put some rough times on Seton Hall. And I was afraid to death, scared to death, I should say. That was my first Big East game. And we played in the Meadowlands. And all I can remember is seeing him on TV, and I just couldn't get this vision out of my head, like seeing Arturas Karnisovas and Big Luther, but then it's something about, coaches yelling on the sideline, you're so drilled, like you can't sit here and marvel at the moment that you're in, because you have a job to do. And so from that moment forward, it was like, you stayed, I saw the jersey, but I didn't see the face. So whoever I played against, it was like, you're just in the way. There's a job to be done.
Of all the big shots you've made, there have been a lot of them in your career. Where does that winner to win the Big East tournament sit in rank?
For me, that's the one shot that I'll forever remember in college. People bring up other games that I played in, but it seemed once I got to the NBA, I learned how to be prepared for that moment. And so I knew kind of where to shoot, where my strong points were, where I had to work a little bit faster to get a shot off. Some people thought I had a favorite side, and I was like, no, I don't have a favorite side. I just know which side I need to be on based on another player's favorite side. Like if I wanted to get in his eyesight, I knew where I had to be. It was just kind of get my feet ready at all times. And so in college, I didn't know that. So I was fortunate and lucky to make that shot. And I think about, you know, you got the naysayers out there, because even for me making a shot in Game 6, there's the people always say, you traveled. And same thing in college, oh, you traveled. It was like, you know, we have a Big East championship ring, regardless of what you think, what you say, like watch the film. But I didn't know how to be prepared for the end of a game, how to understand to work the game, how to make free throws, how to set up your three-pointer and get other things happening. So the ones I made in the NBA just seemed like, this is my job, this is what I do. But there was like, truly was something miraculous for me to be able to make a shot like that and help us win the Big East tournament in Madison Square Garden. Nothing bigger to me or for me in my life up to that point.